Despite everything you have achieved, there's still this voice telling you that you're not good enough. And here's what's really messing with your head. The more successful you get, the louder this voice becomes. I'm about to show you exactly why this happens and where this voice actually comes from, so you can delete it for good and really live your full potential. But first, I have to destroy the biggest lie you have been told about this. Everyone says, oh, that's just imposter syndrome. Everyone who's successful has it. You will never get rid of it. But that's complete bullshit. This is not imposter syndrome. This isn't your personality either. And you definitely don't have to live with this forever. Here's what I have discovered after studying the psychological patterns of successful people. The voice they have is not random. It has a very specific origin. And once you see this, you will finally know why everything you've tried hasn't worked and what actually does work to silence it permanently so you can succeed like the anomaly you are. Dominating your field with unshakable authority, making the impact you were meant to make, and commanding the respect and influence that matches your true potential. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever had this moment where you closed a big deal and instead of celebrating it, your brain automatically goes like, well, they will find out, I'm just lucky. Well, the thing is, this voice is not random at all. This voice isn't your real opinion about yourself. It's like having someone else's thoughts stuck in your head. So now you're probably wondering, okay, Nadine, if this thought does not come from my personality, why do I even have these thoughts that I'm not good enough? Well, the most important thing for you to understand here is that these thoughts have a source, and that source is an identity story. So everything you believe about yourself, who you are, how capable you are, if you are friendly or not, if you are worthy or not, if you belong to this world or not, these are all stories that are stored in your subconscious. Because I'm sure you probably heard the sentence before, 95% of all thoughts and actions don't come from your conscious mind, but they ran on autopilot, and that comes from your subconsciousness. So it may sound a bit complicated, but it's really simple, because if you feel like you're not good enough, there is like a code running in your internal programming that creates thoughts that make you feel like you're not good enough. You can be the best author or speaker or entrepreneur in the world. If your identity story is based on I'm not good enough, then those thoughts will never ever disappear, no matter what you achieve on the outside. So how does this all work? Well, we know from science that your subconsciousness is very, very open and very influenceable in that sense before the age of 7. So everything you experience before the age of 7 with your parents, at home, at school, with your friends and family, every statement and experience you have in that time frame, and especially every statement you hear about who you are, verbally and non-verbally, gets accepted into your system. If you had an authority figure in your early life that somehow created this program in you that made you feel, hey, I'm not good enough, your internal programming just accepted it as a truth. When you are older than 7 years old, your subconscious works a bit differently, because then your logical mind is more evolved and can start questioning those statements. But when you're really young, your subconsciousness is like a sponge that accepts every statement it hears about the world, about who you are, about your capabilities, and so on. And this doesn't have to be like a big traumatic event for that to happen. It doesn't need trauma for that to develop. And it also doesn't mean you're broken, but the truth is that inside of you, there is like a code snippet from your early life that is now running the show behind the scenes. And you can imagine it like having an app on your phone, and when you open the app, you don't see what you really want to see. But clicking on a button or swiping to another page on the app doesn't repair the bug in the app, so to speak. So if the app is not working correctly, you have to work on the source code of the app. And the same principle is behind your internal programming. If you feel like you're not good enough despite achieving milestones other people just dream about, and no matter how positively you are thinking or no matter how mindful you are with your thoughts, if they don't change, that means one thing: your internal code needs to be adapted. And I see so many successful people wrestling with therapy or reading books or journaling or even doing plant medicine like ayahuasca, I don't know how you pronounce that, but you know what I mean. And they are stuck in that spiral of not getting out of this "I'm not good enough" topic. So they are in constant stress, they don't fulfill their mission in the full sense, and they can't perform in a way they would like to perform because these thoughts are just so destructive. And the biggest drama here is that no one tells them that, hey, this is not a logical thing. This is not something your mind creates, but it's an internal programming running in your system. And the only thing that works here is to work directly with the system. Because if you try to solve a problem that is illogical, and this is an illogical problem, you know with your logical mind that you are good enough. That's just a voice inside you that tells you you're not. But if you look at your achievements, you know you're good enough. So your logical mind knows that. But if you try to solve this problem that is stored in your illogical mind, in that sense, in your subconscious, then it can't be resolved, because it's like trying to fix a screw with the wrong screwdriver, and it just doesn't work. And so, yeah, you get the analogy. You really need to work with your internal programming until that code is deleted. And it doesn't take a lot of time, by the way. I know it probably sounds a bit complicated or really heavy, but I have worked with my own subconsciousness for 10 years. I have transformed my complete life with this. I've worked with hundreds of high achievers and entrepreneurs in the last 6 years, and I've reprogrammed their complete identities. And it was a really fast process, but only when you know how to do it right. So if you want to know how you can start rewiring your internal programming to delete this "I'm not good enough" story, then watch this video here next, where I share my personal story about how I rewired my subconscious and deleted my imposter syndrome permanently.